I'm Bailey.
And I'm Brandon, and we're building a fully electric ADU in our backyard. We had an old garage that was built around the same time as the house and then had been added onto, but it was kind of old and decrepit. It had dirt floors. It was, giant holes that you could see through it. We'd been talking about doing an apartment for a long time. We tore that down and did a new foundation, and the idea is to do a garage with an apartment on top, and then we're doing a ceramic studio for Bailey on the side of it.
And a woodworking shop space for you.
Yeah, same thing. Have a shop space for me. I do carpentry and woodworking. When we first started talking about the project, we knew we wanted it to be fully electric. We didn't want any gas hookup. So the cascade of decisions that comes from that point was, okay, well, how do we heat it? For us, it's such a small space. We probably could have done like electric resistance heat, like the wall heaters, something like that. But those end up using quite a bit of power, and so it's like, okay, well, you're not using gas, a direct fossil fuel, but you're using quite a bit more electricity. It was like, well, we can do mini splits, and mini splits can heat pretty effectively. And we're doing an electric hot water heater. We're doing an induction stove. We're doing a mini split with 3 heating units. So yeah, kind of, it's gonna be electric. We're gonna heat it with a mini split. So in order to kind of maximize the efficiency of that, to reduce how much electricity we're gonna use, we wanna make it super tight. And so that is just kind of using basic construction techniques like everybody uses, but just a few extra steps here and there. So like, when you put the plywood sheathing on, you tape all the seams to make sure that there's no air leaks and stuff like that. I think it's becoming much more common to build tighter houses. But the old way of thinking is that you don't want a house that's too tight because you'll have mold problems, or you'll have, you just won't get enough natural air circulation. The solution to that is to just have intentional ventilation. And in such a small space, like ours is only 600 square feet, so that's actually pretty easy to do. We just have these little wall units that we put in, and they actually recover the heat as it leaves the house, and then when it brings new air in, it'll warm that cold air up as it's coming back into the house, and so you get fresh air into the house, and you can make it really tight, and you don't lose a lot of heat.
Yeah, well, one is because we care about the earth, but largely to make sure that if we do get solar panels, when we do get solar panels, that they're going to be really useful.
This house is a good example because when we first moved in here, we were all excited. We're like, we're homeowners. We're gonna get solar panels. It's gonna be awesome. And we had somebody come out and do an estimate, and we have a gas stove, a gas hot water heater, and gas heat. So the electric portion of our utilities is like $20 a month or something. Like, it's tiny. And so they're like, you could put a solar panel array up, but it would take, I forget what the payback period was, but it was years and years because everything was gas. The research that we've done about trying to be net zero and stuff, it's like, well, obviously we need to electrify everything. And part of the plan with our new build was we're going to orient it so that it's got an awesome, clear, south-facing roof, and as much as possible, we're going to electrify everything back there and then get the biggest solar array that we can get, that we can fit on the roof, and then we can use that to reduce the load from this house as well. As the appliances start to go out in this house, we'll just convert them to electric.